question, multiple choice questions on alkanes. Paper 2 multiple choice questions are probably I'd find more difficult. That's why I'm going through them, obviously. Multiple choice questions more on organic chemistry, probably because I've practiced them less. That's probably why I find it more difficult. So that's why I'm going through them now. Question 1: which is the propagation step in chlorination of methane? Now that's a termination. That's not it. Okay, so now left with A, B, and C. Definitely not A. Where'd you get the hydrogen free radical from? And now I'm left with C and D. It's going to be... Well, how would I get a hydrogen free radical? I just don't get it. The answer is D. These questions like this actually aren't too bad. Which one's a propagation step? Which statement is not correct about the pollutant sulfur dioxide? It can be removed from car exhaust gases by catalytic converter. It can be removed from power stations flue gases by reaction with calcium oxide. It can cause respiratory problems. It can cause acid rain. The acid rain part, sulfur dioxide. Yes. Can remove from car exhaust gases by a catalytic converter. That is nitrogen. Yeah. Something. It's not. The answer is A. Question 3. Which statement is correct about thermal cracking? Thermal cracking. Remember, I'm just going to jot this down. High temperature, high pressure. Zeolite catalysts are used. No, that's catalytic cracking. Aromatic hydrocarbons are the major products. No, that's catalytic cracking. Now I'm left with A and C. High pressure. So this one's actually a bit tricky, but catalytic thermal cracking, the carbon-carbon bonds are actually broken. And the high pressure, that's not really necessarily high. And question 4, which equation represents propagation step? That is termination. That is termination. That is initiation. That's propagation. Question 5. An excess of methane reacts with the chlorine in the presence of UV light. CH3Cl. No. Excess of methane. CH4 plus dot arrow CH3 dot plus HCl. CH3 dot plus Cl2 arrow CH3Cl plus chlorine free radical. So no, CH3Cl plus HCl. Yeah. I'm overcomplicating it. I don't even need to actually go through these equations. I know hydrogen definitely isn't going to be produced. So I'm left with B, and D is definitely going to be D. Because how can... Yeah, it's definitely going to be D. Question 6. Which statement is correct about the fractional distillation of crude oil? A zeolite catalyst is used. Fractional distillation? Zeolite catalyst? No. Fractionating column is hottest at the top. At the top? No, it's hottest at the bottom. It's coolest at the top. Each fraction contains a mixture of hydrocarbons. That is true. That's true. 100% true. Question 7. Which equation represents a termination step? Termination. That's propagation. That's propagation. Yeah. That's propagation. That's termination. And even if you, let's say you had zero knowledge on, like, you just forgot everything on propagation, initiation, termination, free radical substitution, all of that, Well, you can clearly see, in this case, we've got one dot, a free radical here, we form one free radical. Same with here, same with here. Whereas in this case, it's slightly different. We've got two free radicals and we form something with a covalent bond. And in question 8, which equation is a propagation step? That is termination. We will never form a hydrogen free radical. That's with A, and that's nothing. So the answer is in fact D. Okay. Question 9. Now this one is a bit tricky. Which table shows possible conditions of products for the cracking of alkanes? Which row is correct? Thermal cracking, high pressure, high temperature. Is that true? That is absolutely true. The products mainly alkanes. No, thermal cracking, the products are mainly alkenes. Thermal cracking, slight pressure, high temperature, mainly alkenes. That's false. It's not slight pressure, it's high pressure. Catalytic, so I can already cross out A, B. Catalytic cracking, slight pressure, high temperature, yes. Mainly branched alkanes and aromatics. Yeah, definitely. Question 10. Another question about catalytic cracking. Which catalyst is used in catalytic cracking of alkanes? Concentrated phosphoric acid, iron, nickel, zeolite. The answer is zeolite catalyst. No, I feel like once you've done a topic, if you go through the multiple choice questions, like they're just really good recalls. Because like that question one I just did now, just how well you know your A1 about catalytic cracking, which correctly represents an incomplete combustion pentane. Correctly. Okay. Pentane, C5H12, all of them have that. I don't think, this is A levels now. I don't think they're just going to make me eliminate a couple just from that. All of them have C5H12. Okay, this one's actually tricky. Incomplete combustion, where there's lack of oxygen to ensure the products are purely carbon dioxide and water. So, it can't be A then, because that's complete combustion. Enough oxygen to ensure the products are purely carbon dioxide and water. That's for complete combustion. It's for incomplete combustion. So it can't be A, B, C, and D. Now, would I form carbon? Each of them, I'm forming carbon monoxide, forming carbon dioxide. Whereas in D, I'm forming H2O and hydrogen. Now I've got 4 carbons there, 5 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 carbons there. Oxygen 16 on the left hand side, 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 6, 12. Wait, I've got 16 oxygens here. I've got 4 oxygens here. I've got 2 oxygens here. That's 6 overall total, and I've got 6 oxygens here. That's 12. Whereas I've got 8O2. That tells me there's 16 oxygens, so it can't be B. Okay, so I'm left with C and D. I've got 12 oxygens here. In this case, I've got 4 plus 2, 6. And I've got another 6 here, so oxygens are balanced. Whereas in this one, oxygen equals 10. Oxygen in this case is 4 plus 4, 5. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. So the oxygens are balanced for both of them. So I'm going to have to do a bit deeper and think about the hydrogens now. For D, I've got 8 hydrogens plus 4 hydrogens. That's 12. And C, I've got 12 hydrogens. Okay, I think it's all balanced. But why would we form hydrogen? We're not going to form hydrogen. Definitely not. if it was incomplete combustion from carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and water. So the only thing different that we're forming is carbon monoxide, not water. Question 12. Which species is produced in the propagation step during the reaction of propane C3H8 butane ether propane, yep, plus chlorine free radical. C3. Actually, I already know the answer is not going to be A. We never form a hydrogen free radical. Now, I think I just need to recap quickly on propagation steps and how to construct them. It might be ridiculous, but I think I do. So it's just going to take me like 30 seconds. 30 seconds, and then I'll be back just reading the textbook. It's going to be C3H7 dot plus HCl, and then I've got C3H7 dot plus Cl2, and now I'm forming C3H7Cl plus H7Cl plus Cl dot. But none of those match my answer. None of those matches the options. That's a bit weird. So C3H8 plus the chlorine free radical from C3H7 dot plus HCl, then CH3H7 dot plus Cl2 to form C3H7Cl plus Cl dot. C3H, yeah, C3H6Cl2 H dot. Answer is definitely not going to be D. Obviously going to have a chlorine attached to it. Answer is going to be C. Almost done now. Which of these substances does not contribute to the greenhouse effect? Nitrogen. Unburned hydrocarbons definitely do. Carbon dioxide definitely does. Water vapor. So I feel like most students would cross out A and B and then stuck between C and D. And if they chose C, they get it wrong, obviously, because answer is D. Well, nitrogen definitely does not contribute to the greenhouse effect. Question 14. Which molecule is not produced when ethane reacts with bromine in presence of ultraviolet light? Which is not produced? Light work. Hydrogen. I even need to go through the equation or anything. Question 15. Now this one says sulfur dioxide is produced when some fossil fuels are burned. Which of the following statements is true? Okay, sulfur dioxides can be removed from waste gases in a power station by acid-base reaction with calcium oxide. That is true. Basic oxide, no. Ionic compound, no. Insoluble in water, no. And then question 16. Which of the following could represent this reaction? So, one molecule of tetradecane could decompose from one molecule of hexane as C6H14, so it can't be C, and three more molecules. Well, it can't be B then, because that's one molecule of hexane and three more molecules. Well, I've only got two more molecules in this case, so I'm left with A and D. And does it tell us about saturated, unsaturated? So I just need to check the hydrogens now. or the carbons? Probably the carbons are already going to be balanced because then I think it'd be too easy. So it's probably going to be the hydrogen. So H14, 14 plus 8, 22, 22 plus 8, 30, whereas in D, 14 plus 6, 20, 20 plus 12, 32. So the answer is A. That is not balanced correctly. And that is the end of the multiple choice question.